Hello there and welcome back to Morning Express. It is 8:24 a.m. We're glad you're watching. Our last discussion this morning is all about women and beauty. Yes, and we have, as I've been saying all along this morning, captains in that industry, ladies who have been able to carve out a niche for themselves, make it to the very top, and are here with us to talk to us not only about what they've been able to manage to get in the industry, but also what they think about this whole beauty. What is the definition of beauty? I would like to hear from them. And of course, we'll have our phone lines open for you to be part of the conversation, joining as we get to learn more about them. And they will be this Saturday at the Hilton Hotel as well for the Eve Sisters meet. So you'll get one-on-one interaction with them if you would like at the Hilton for the Eve Sisters meeting. And remember, you can also tweet your questions if you can have Twitter. You know, at Sophia Wanuna is my Twitter handle. And you can call the numbers that will be put up on your screen. Or SMS is 22155. Joining me in studio, Patricia Ithao. She's the immediate former Managing Director of L'Oreal East Africa. We also have Susie Wakabi, MD, CEO, Susie Beauty Cosmetics, and Ravinda Kaur, who is Principal, Ashley's Hair and Beauty Academy. Thank you for joining us today. Lovely to be with people who are about beauty. Beauty is beautiful, right? Beauty conversation. Let's start with an introduction. Introduce yourselves to us. Ravinda, who is Ravinda?
Ravinda, my name's Ravinda, and I'm the cosmetologist by profession, and I love teaching. I'm a tutor and a principal at Ashley's Hair and Beauty Academy.
Okay. A cosmetologist, what is that about?
That is all about hair and beauty and anything to do with body care and cosmetic care.
All right. And it's something you wanted to do all along when you were growing up, or did you just bump into it at some point?
Okay, that is interesting. I really did not want to be in it, but I ended up in it, and I really enjoy doing it.
Okay. All right, I'll probe you a little bit further. Your answers are very tight. I want more detail. Okay. In terms of when you say it wasn't what you went out to do, but happened to be there, I'd like to know more. But Susie, you shared your story with us before, but I'm sure there's still very many who'd want to hear. Susie Beauty, everybody hears about this and sees the products, but was it always, as for you as well, a childhood dream, or it happened?
A childhood dream, I don't know, but as soon as I graduated college, not as soon as, a few years later, I entered the beauty industry and fashion industry in the US and discovered my pure love and passion for beauty. Yeah. And worked as a makeup artist for very many years. And when I came back home in 2007, worked, in the local industry, trying to sort of build it to the level it's getting to. Yeah. And in 2009, started the brand Susie Beauty, which is we provide a full product range for the African woman, as well as product services and and training.
What did you find when you came back? When is it you came back to Kenya?
At the end of 2007, and maybe a year into working in the industry and going through all the, the big suitcase of makeup that I'd brought with me to work with, I found it really hard to get good quality, affordable makeup here that would actually work on our skins. And for me, I guess I just saw a gap in the market that I tried to fill.
Yeah. Patricia, talk to us about who Patricia Ithao is.
Okay, in the context of beauty.
And also as a woman, doesn't mean how you come.
Okay, as a woman. Well, I also, if I start in the context of beauty, my first job was actually in the personal care industry when I started working a couple of decades ago, actually, at L'Oreal. Not at L'Oreal, sorry, at Unilever at that time. And so that's where my interest in this whole area started, when I was a brand manager for Elida Pons, which was the Unilever business at the time. Then I left beauty for a while, went into a lot of other things, household, food, went into the alcohol industry when I was in EABL.
Wow. Okay.
Then came back when I was called to set up L'Oreal, which is the world's #1 beauty company in the world. And so that's what I've done for the last 3 and a bit years, 3 years and about 3 months. And now I'm now exploring other possibilities.
Why are you leaving?
why have I left? Not why am I leaving?
Yeah, why have you left? Yes.
Why have I left? Well, I think it's a number of things. I think there's always a time to move on, but also because I want to do other things for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Ashley's as well to understand where that came from. We see on Ashley's hair salons around the country, and you have the pageants, Miss Kenya as well.
Miss Kenya,
Talk to us about what is under the stable of Ashley's.
Under the stable of Ashley's, we normally represent so many training centers. We have training centers, and we do training. We are up to make women look more beautiful. They are already beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just enhancement that we work on. And of course, with the help of the cosmetic industries, the beauty care, etc., we are doing a lot, and we are actually building confidence in people. We are giving them jobs. We are making them employable, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were raised being told you're beautiful. The Bible says you're wonderful.
Yes, I'm fearfully made.
So the place of cosmetics and women, many men say, oh, too much makeup. I hate women in makeup. They should just be natural. Everybody wants to go the natural way. Where does this fit in just ensuring that a person still has confidence, as you mentioned, looks good, but also doesn't overdo it, and that doesn't become what they depend on to feel pretty? Susie?
I always say it takes makeup to make a woman look natural. So I think, you know, the whole thing about men talking about, oh, I don't like women in makeup. No, you don't like women in badly done makeup. You know, you look, it's perfect, like it's beautiful, and it's enhanced. That's all that makeup is supposed to do, and all cosmetics, I think, they're just meant to make you look a better version of yourself. Yes, but
it really shouldn't be a mask. I think
exactly
where people get
you remove it and
where
you look
people,
different.
It's a mask. I mean, you're carrying something. Everything should be used to enhance how you look, to enhance your beauty.
To enhance the look,
And
not
I mean,
to change the
we
look.
take the same example when you talk about food. I mean, you can have boiled food, tastes good. Add a bit of spice in food, tastes a little bit better. So it's the same thing, I think, with beauty and makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your definition of beauty? Ravind, I'll have that for all of you. What is your definition of beauty?
It's just enhancing yourself and being presentable.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Being presentable.
And
beautiful.
I look at it in two ways. There is the inner beauty and there is the external beauty.
Yes.
What we do in the industry is external beauty, but you also need to have internal beauty. That is etiquette and presentation and personality.
Yeah.
It all counts.
Wow. Good answer.
I agree. I don't think there's anything more beautiful in this world than a confident woman or confident person. And you know, what we do in our daily lives with our cosmetics is just to enhance. You cannot create confidence. You cannot create kindness. You cannot create a good person. So so ours is just the extra step, the spice.
Exactly, yeah. And at the end of the day, you know, you can't really buy beauty, because listening to what Ravinda says, beauty is actually from within and outside. So it's important that the two things work together, because you can doll yourself up, put as much, a bigger mask as you can. But if you're actually not beautiful, if you're not very pleasant, that's what people notice. They notice the mask. They don't see it as beautiful. So I think those two things have to always work together in the
have to work together
to make a woman beautiful.
There are all kinds of products, from, you know, the scrubs to the toners. I mean, you can tell me about them, perhaps. So many that sometimes I wonder, what kind of a closet do I need to have all the beauty products that we hear that people in the industry talking about? Oh, you need this for this, you need this for this, all these advertisements. So where does an ordinary, innocent lady in the general public, you know, make that decision on what to get?
I guess it comes from, you know, with life, we're always looking for something new to improve our lives. And again, I always look at parallels in other industries to help explain something. Because if you look 100 years ago, women were happy to just wear shuka, and they were fully clothed. Now you're going to wear, you'll have a bra, you have undies, you have a jacket, you have shoes, you wear tights. I mean, why do you need all those things? And it's the same thing with the beauty products. Each of the products come from the way we develop and the fact that we want to improve, enhance a different part of ourselves. So somebody tells you, okay, your skin now, given the weather, okay, when you wash, you need to tone it. Why do I need to do it? Because it makes it feel fresher. Or you're going out, you need to moisturize. And you keep building and building, because, you know, that's the way life is. I want to keep improving myself. And there are many people who are ready to innovate with products to allow us to improve ourselves.
Just recently, there was a whole conversation after the socialite Vera lightened her skin. I'd like to hear your thoughts about that. What did you think about her doing that? Of course, she said, it's a personal decision, I'm entitled to do that. But of course, the implication of that is many other people, especially the younger generation, that becomes a definition. And we've seen it even in other countries in Europe. That becomes a definition of what is beautiful. Is necessarily lighter skin?
No, it is not necessary to lighten skin, but that's the thing that everyone has in mind. And the best thing is to look natural and to enhance your natural beauty. There's nothing that can compare natural beauty. Of course, enhancement is there, and everybody needs a different kind of enhancement, because what is good for me is not good for you. You have a different type of skin. That's why you need the expert advice on that. And when you get the expert advice, you are guided step by step on what to do and how to do it, and it makes you look natural. What we need to understand about beauty is we don't need to change what we have. You are already naturally made in a beautiful way. So all you have to do is just to enhance it and make it look better. That's it.
Where do you think that comes from, for those who want, like Vera, to get lighter?
I'm not sure. And, even traveling through Europe or the US or Asia, you'll see like ads of, the model who's the beautiful one is lighter skin. And I don't know, it's kind of sad to me. I was asked the other day, do you think lighter women get further and do better? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, look at Lupita. She's as light as they get, right?
Yes,
So no, I'm not I don't condone that. I'm not a supporter of it.
But there are products that help women do that. So is the industry also helping?
How dangerous are they?
They are very dangerous. Actually, they actually damage the layers of the skin. So it's not really advisable for someone to use products to make them look lighter. All you need is to enhance the natural care, the color of the skin. It's a natural tone. It's not changeable.
Who taught us that lighter is prettier, for those who think so?
I don't know. Isn't it socialization? I remember many, many years ago when I launched a product called Fair and Lovely in this market. And I'd seen it in India because in India it's a very big product. And there the socialization was the lighter you were, first of all, the higher economically you were, socially you were, and secondly, the more likely you were to get married. But then in Kenya, we also had that thing that if you're lighter, you're more beautiful. I mean, you look at people who have a child and a baby is born and they look at it and they say, oh, she's so light. As if that's a defining feature for a child. Or, oh, look at the ears. She's going to be dark. He's going to be dark. So there's something about the socialization. I don't know whether it comes from being colonized and believing that people of lighter skin were more superior. I don't know whether now socially, because of what we see in the media, all the stars and everything else, that's why it's fantastic to have role models like Lupita who are happy and are beautiful the way they are. That is why with a brand that I had in L'Oreal called Dark and Lovely, we say, I am dark and lovely. Because we have to start changing that perception that, the whiter you are, the more superior and therefore the more beautiful. Or the more beautiful, therefore the more superior. And it's a condition, I guess, driven by social media, the stars, because those are the people we hold up to these days. We look and watch very closely. Look at all the stars, they're light, so they're beautiful.
They're beautiful.
So that must be the way beauty is.
But what I love is, like in the US, the new beautiful is like Kim Kardashian, who is nowhere near, extra white. She's olive, and you also find a lot of lighter skinned white women going to tan themselves and try and
they are looking to be less light,
exactly,
and everybody else is looking to. But when you talk about Fair and Lovely, there are many other forms we've seen in the market coming out, which are poor quality and which are harmful. So what do you have to say about what's happening?
I think, and that's where people play on things, because again, when you find that people are using those products, very few of them even want to admit they've done it. So you ask somebody, but how did you go from being my color to being your color,
And
or
then
being
their knuckles are dark.
yeah, and their knuckles are dark. So there's a sense also of stigma and embarrassment, yet you're still doing it. So I think that's a point that I ask myself, you know, when did we get to this point? And unfortunately, there'll always be unscrupulous people who are willing to take advantage of the vulnerability or the desire and create products which are harmful, but which promise you very quick results for the short term.
And let's go to Ashley's and also talk about the modeling world as well, because with what your pageant that you have, again, it defines beauty. The small, tiny girl, slender, tall, perfect looking. What do you have to say in terms of pageants? I mean, that's the way they are around the world. But do we need more different versions of how beauty is defined, do you think?
I think we should.
Yeah?
Actually, we were having a discussion about it, and there is a pageant that they are trying to bring up, which is also catering for the people who are a bit bigger in size. So fortunately, we will have that in future.
Yeah.
Because it's very sad for people who are a bit bigger in size not to have a chance to get to the industry.
I held a Miss Plus pageant. In February, we crowned her, and actually in July she'll be on the cover of Couture Africa magazine.
Awesome.
And she's curvaceous and gorgeous, and I mean, I keep saying, what is more African than a voluptuous woman?
Exactly.
So we'll be,
because we need, there seems to be a majority, but with a little voice, small voice that's not being heard, and the world has defined beauty in a certain way. So more efforts like those needed. You know, when you have Lupita being on the cover of People, most beautiful person
in the world,
that's in the world. You know, that's an effort to demystify, to change this. But more needs to be done, Patricia.
Yeah, I think more certainly needs to be done, and that's why we have to encourage products which don't define you by a color, that they define you in terms of enhancing your beauty. So for me, if you have a product that says, okay, you have problem skin, let's help solve it. You have a wrinkle, let's help solve it. You have spots, let's help solve them. You have dry skin, let's help solve them. That is what we should look at, as opposed to products that promise whitening,
of course,
lightening, you know,
and you
all
know,
these other things.
Where color cosmetics is concerned, you know, you like a certain color of lipstick, you know, so you have these options.
Exactly.
And why not? You know, I think that's what you know we're about.
Yeah. Let's talk about the business side of all of this. What has kept Ashley so successful and going all these years? And
the demand in the industry.
It's a huge industry, right?
It's a huge industry, and it has a lot of demand. Everybody wants to look beautiful. Any industry in this world, even the president, the big shots, everyone wants to look beautiful. So there's a lot of demand, and sometimes it's even difficult to fulfill the demand. But that's why we have training centers, and we train and we try to cater for the demand. It's a huge industry, and there's the cosmetic side, there's the manufacturing side, there's the enhancement, there's the training, there's the teaching side. There's so many sides interrelated with the industry.
How many people do you have working in Ashley's, roughly, you know?
Roughly in the whole of Ashley's Kenya Limited, we have more than 300 employees.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much is it worth? I'm going to get into the figures.
No, that's a bit personal. I cannot talk about it.
But it's doing well.
It's doing very well.
Okay, so you said demand is what has kept it going, and perhaps even this...
And even our clientele. Our clientele keep us going.
Okay. So you began this as a, you know, something you thought, okay, let me start this. Your whole entire cosmetic line. How is it doing now?
It's doing, I mean, you know, better every day.
Yeah.
We've formed, I think, you know, a part of the market, our little niche in the market. Our competition is only international brands. And we are, you know, we're there with them in the beauty shops and in Nakumat and, you know, all sorts of distribution channels.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're happy with the direction we're going. This year it's all about increasing distribution and not throughout Kenya. And regional and Africa-wide. I was in Lagos last month, so we're trying to see, you know, there's a need everywhere, you know, for this, especially, you know, because we've specialized in the darker skin toned colors. So, you know, we have foundations and powders that cater to, you know, the Sudanese beautiful black ebony skin, you know. So yeah, so I think it's been received very well, and our clientele is growing every day. We have a huge social media following, and I think we're definitely heading in the right direction.
I was really excited when I saw Lupita put on Instagram your lipstick. It was when she was this, just after she'd come out, and she was on every magazine, talk shows around America, and she was going for the Queen Latifah show. And she had, these pictures showing herself applying the lipstick. And even discussions had later with designers and all was the question about putting yourself out there. So did you send your product to her? How did that happen?
I was all over it. No. A lot of us,
like, that's the hot thing.
A lot of us knew her here before, so it wasn't hard for me to get in touch with her. And I sent her a package, and I was like, do what you can when you can, try it, see if you like it. And she, and a few months later, she posted these photographs, and her makeup artist actually requested more products to use on his other celebrity clients. So, that was huge for us, and that got a lot of interest, even, in the Western world.
I saw that and I was so excited. I was like,
I know.
Someone at least going and putting their product out
there. So we will be global one day also.
Yes, you will. You will. And you helped, start this up and set it up, L'Oreal here in East Africa. How was that journey from setting up from scratch, biggest brand, to what you're leaving it?
I think it's exciting. I mean, I must say, it's had its challenges, but it's an experience which I wish everybody could have. Susie's having it in a different way because, she's walking the journey and everything else. But for me, it's probably one of the best experiences and the best legacies I'm going to look back on. Because two things. One is I had to lean on my local contacts and knowledge and everything else, but I also had to bring in the international aspects of the mother company, the owner of the brand. And I think for me that the beauty of it is, if I look at the simple things, the low-hanging fruit I could talk to, is when I set it up, I was telling people I'm doing L'Oreal. People didn't even know what L'Oreal is. Lots of Kenyans struggle to say the name, every single expression, and they say, how do you come with a company which is so difficult on the Kenyan tongue? And so now everybody knows L'Oreal. And secondly is the fact that now it's not, the second question I always used to be asked is by the people who knew it, is that this is a white brand, this is a brand for Mzungus, for European, what products do you have? And letting everybody understand that actually that's not it. Dark and Lovely is a L'Oreal brand. It's the world's #1 brand for people of color, and it has, from hair products, and now, before I left, I started production of the body lotion. And secondly, the acquisition of Nice and Lovely, which then, because there were two concerns. One is a Mzungu brand, nothing for Africa. The other thing, everything is so expensive. So two things were achieved. One was, first, everybody recognized it's actually a brand for all of us. And secondly, with the acquisition, we're able to have products which allowed every consumer, irrespective of the economic background, to be able to enjoy using a L'Oreal brand.
Before we wind up, have about 3 minutes to go. I want to talk about the challenges you face in the industry, but also the returns. Susie, I'd like to hear whether you feel it's worth it, the investment, the sacrifice I'm sure you've had to make, and what you're getting back. But yesterday, and I've noticed many of my male friends, they'll have their manicures and all. That's not something you used to see a few years ago. So more and more men coming into the industry, appreciating the services as well.
A lot of men are actually joining the industry because it's a huge industry, and I think they're accepting it. They're accepting that they need to look good even for the ladies. It's not just the other way around.
And also being the service providers, doing the hair.
They're actually joining. We have a lot of students who are male students, and they really do well in the industry. For some reason, women like men working on them, and it's opposites attract
even in the salon.
Exactly. In the barber shops, we do well with ladies. In the salons, we do well with the gentlemen. And it's good.
What next for Ashley's? What next for Ashley's? Where does Ashley's go from here?
From here, we will plan to even manufacture our own things in future, hopefully. And it's big. We would want to be worldwide. Right now, we are all over in the East and Central Africa. But in future, we'll also be worldwide.
Okay. So, Susie, the challenges and also the returns. Talk to us about those two.
Well, challenges for me are, you know, I'm a pure creative, so starting a business on its own is its own challenge.
Yeah.
You know, I don't spend my days on gorgeous sets every day, you know, powdering your nose and models and magazine shoots and TV shows, and I'm running a business and I have employees and I have to deal with lawyers and investors and accountants, like, you know, so it's a whole nother world. But for me, I keep saying Suzy Beauty for us is it's a family business, and it is definitely one of my children. I have 2 boys. Hi, Macy and Nate, and Suzy Beauty is the girl that, you know, that I have, and so just watching it grow from nothing. I mean, it was an idea deep inside my head, to seeing products in stores and having our own stores. We have, you know, 2 of our own outlets and more to come. And seeing the reception of the product and how people love it. So that's, for me, is just, you know, it's worth all the challenges and all the sleepless nights and all the days I don't want to wake up and I just want to hide under my bed.
Happy with the return.
It's worth all that. Yeah, of course, you know, so far, you know, it grows every month, and I don't want to talk about valuations and that kind of thing, but
I have had some really good figures. But
there are some good figures, and better to come. So you know, we're only positive about everything. And
about everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good, you know, next few years, building it to a higher level.
It how went for us up, as you tell the women who are watching, and even the men, in terms of this industry. What is that take home? You know, beauty, everyone has to look better, wants to feel confident, but also, as you said from at the beginning, not to have that mask on that you look totally different with and without makeup. Yeah.
What is that to take home?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things to take home. There's a confidence, there's a sense of achievement, there's a sense of looking good. Everybody wants to look good. But if you're doing this for business, there's the fact that you're going to make money. I mean, who doesn't want to make money? So at the end of the day, I think that is always...
You want to make the money.
You need to make the money. And one of the best industries to do that, you can't go wrong with beauty.
No.
Because nobody hates beauty. So if anybody wants to go into it,
this is the recession. It's recession-proof. You know that.
Very recession-proof. Very recession. Let me tell you, women will reduce what they eat. They'll reduce what they buy. They'll reduce family, everything else, but they will not do. They will not do without their hair, their face, their products,
nails,
body care. It's everything.
Yeah. So it's good business.
It's very good.
Anybody out there who wants to join, come on in.
Come on. It's always very well rationalized.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ladies. I look forward to having more of these conversations. What to expect on Saturday at Hilton?
Oh, we'll be talking to a few hundred women about, you know, the beauty industry, basically what we've talked about, and our personal stories. And no, it's always such an amazing event.
And it's interactive. So you get
questions,
to ask, and to challenge, and everything
Come talk to us.
It'll be good fun.
Awesome. There you have it. Eve Sisters happening this Saturday. And of course, when you grab your copy of the Standard Super, you'll be able to get all the details there as well. Thank you, ladies. We wish you the very best going forward. And that is where we're wrapping up the show this morning, 8:53 a.m. Wish you a lovely day. We'll see you again here tomorrow morning. Have a blessed day.